Religion is man-made. I know a lot of people are starting to understand that, which is great. We need to awaken to this truth. It's okay that religion is man-made. A lot of people have learned how to have faith. That's great, as long as you've found faith. But we need to move beyond that. Are you moving beyond that? As long as your morals are right, as long as you're doing the right thing and you're being your best self, that's what matters. You don't need a religion to back you up with that. What you do need to back you up with that is God. It is your faith. It is what you do, your actions, your reactions. That is what backs you up. That is your truth. What many people don't know is that the Bible is super, super, super revised. This was not something that was just written one time and then sent off and was like, okay, this is the scriptures and that's it. No, the Bible was revised many, many times. Matter of fact, the King James Bible, which is a Bible that a lot of people have, a lot of people read, a lot of people go by, that was actually a Bible that was revised during the Queen Elizabeth time. And she didn't want specific things in the Bible, and that's what the King James Bible is about. A lot of things were taken out and changed around to fit better narratives. A lot of people still use the Bible as faith, and that's fine. You could take a lot of stories from the Bible and apply them to your life to be a better person, to do better things. At the end of the day, these are man-made books. This is not something that God himself came down, written down, and then gave it to us. No. These are man-made books, and we need to keep that in mind. And when things are man-made, they can be corrupted, they can be manipulated, they can be changed, and that's hard for some of us to hear. A little background about myself. I was raised Catholic. I did all the pretty much initiation steps, because that's what they were, to be a Catholic, right? But if you really look at it, these initiations, these steps, this certain processes we do in certain religious groups are pretty much rituals. They're just rituals that got shoved in there somehow, and that's what we've been going by. I'll give you an example. When I was Catholic and we had to do certain I believe it was called a communion. It's been a long time. But we would have to do these communions and these things. And a lot of times in the Catholic culture, you go up to drink the blood of Jesus and eat the body of God, and through a bread and a cup of wine that's supposed to represent blood of Jesus. I mean, these are literally rituals we're talking about. You're asking children to line up and drink the blood of Jesus or things like that. And it's then that where, as I got older and I started looking into all this stuff, that it really started clicking to me that Catholicism, Christianity, a lot of these things are not what we think they are. They were used to push propaganda. They were used to manipulate the masses. They were used to use our emotions and our energy to put it into this concept rather than continuing to awaken, because it only awakens you to a certain point. That's your job at that point to, okay, what more is there? What more can I do? Because straight up, when I was a Catholic and I was reading all these Bibles and all these scriptures and was taught all these prayers, I still never felt safe. I still was full of fear. I still did not feel comfortable. I didn't feel fully connected to God. I started to begin fully connection with God when I just started to branch out and learn more and not base it on religions, not just go to, okay, well, I'm not Catholic, I'm going to jump to Buddhism, or I'm not Buddhism, I'm going to jump to Christianity, I'm not Christianity, I'm going to, no. I read and I learned a lot about a lot of them, and a lot of them have some amazing messages and great meanings, and they are faith-based and things like that. But a lot of it at the same time was, I don't know, I just felt like I was being a bit deceived, and some of these things weren't really what was taking place, which is okay. Some people go by those things, and that's fine, as long as you are happy with where you are at and you are continuing to grow, because that is the point of Earth, right? We need to continue our ascension, unless you want to continue to come back to Earth and keep doing this over and over again until you learn your lessons. But really, you can just learn and connect with God now and then be your best self right now. So you could take that, show that you've learned, show that you've awakened, show that you are your own human being, and that you're respectful of the energy and respectful of the love and understanding of the evolutionary process, and you can be a part of it too. And then you get looped in there, and then you can continue on and move on into from Earth it goes to Terra, from Terra goes to Gaia, so on and so forth, because it's an evolutionary process. Not only do we evolve, Earth is evolving as well. We must be kind and respectful to Earth. It is its own being. It is its own mechanism. It is its own beautiful energy, its own beautiful being, and it wants to evolve as well, and Earth will continue to evolve. That's a choice that we have to continue to evolve with Earth. It was really interesting. I had come across the Geneva Bible, which was before the King James Bible. The King James Bible was a super revised, and then the Geneva Bible was, it pretty much was the King James Bible, but somebody putting their input on the side and also some things not taken out from it. But at the end of the day, this book was made in the 1600s, I believe it was. And in the 1600s, I mean, that's not the beginning of time, you guys. Like, it's just absolutely not. That's a skip away. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was coming to me and giving me something of scriptures and it's like, okay, this is from 500 BC, I'm going to be like, okay, whoa, what were these guys talking about? But I mean, we're talking about people from 1600s, 1700s. A queen got involved saying that she didn't want certain things in it. Editors got involved. People that weren't even true editors got involved because they wanted their input in it as well. So at that point, like, what really are we reading if that's the case? And that's what continues to happen. A lot of us are basing our entire lives off these scriptures. Scriptures are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. There's tons of scriptures that I'm moved by and I think they're great and they have beautiful meanings. But some things I'm just kind of like, come on. Why would you really want to base your life, who you are, off of a book somebody else wrote with like a million other people involved? And not to mention, half these people were corrupted. Half these people were a part of something way bigger. Some of these people were Masons. Some of these people were Templars, which came from Masonry, Rosicrucians, Phoenicians. We've had so many people involved in putting their own opinions. Personally, I feel like religion is man-made. I'm not the only person that said this. A lot of people have said that. A lot of people agree with it. And it's not that I'm knocking down any religion. Religion is a great way to start, have a faith base, but you need to move on from that as well for yourself. You need to see more. Don't just box yourself into this bubble and assume that that's all, because you're capping yourself at the end of the day. It's not about like literally the religion you're in, if that's gonna push you forward. I mean, it's literally about you learning more, you being your best self, you wanting to ascend after Earth. As some say, it's heaven after Earth, right? But it continues from there. So the only way you can continue is when you do right here. Because why would God let anybody continue if they can't even handle the most basis of frequencies? We're in the lowest of frequencies right now, point blank period. And if you can't even handle the pressure here, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to allow you to go into the next evolutionary process where these beings have a higher frequency. There are you are us, we are all one. You know what I'm saying? And if you move into that level, but you weren't ready for it and you didn't really accept your lessons on Earth, then what are we doing? We're just moving backwards at that point, so you can't move forward. And then you keep coming back here and you feel like you've been doing it for forever. You don't have to base your entire life off of religion. As long as you're being a good person with good actions, good morals, good reactions, trying your best every day, being a better person, being the best you, reading more, learning more, growing, all those things. As long as you're doing those things, you are on the right track, and God's going to love you. God's going to feed you good energy and give you good things. And of course, as long as you're being acknowledgeable that God is part of the process, because God is a part of the process. You put in the action, God responds. That's the way it works. Sometimes when you put in the action, it could take a few weeks, it could take a few months till God responds, but God will respond. Sometimes he takes longer because it's a matter of your patience. He's watching you to see if you're really about it. The universe is really watching you to see if you're about it, if you're really about what you say you are. Literally walk into it because of your actions. God will make sure that you're walking right into it because you're doing the right actions, right? That's how it works. It's a beautiful process. You don't need religion for that. You do need a good understanding of God. You do need a good understanding of yourself. You do need a good understanding of your faith base. And you do need to be very confident in the steps that you are taking. At first, you may not feel so confident about it because it may be like such a new field in a sense, but some people are just ready to like jump into it and be like, yo, I'm ready. What do I got to do? And when you ask yourself, okay, what do I got to do? Ask yourself that. You can't come to me or him or her or anybody else about what do I got to do. You know what you got to do. You know you best. You know what position you're in. You know what needs to change. You know what not needs to change. And if it's not something that you can change immediately, at least begin to change those little things right now. The little things at least. And it will accumulate over time. That, in a sense, is you creating your own religion. Not that you are your own God, because we are not God. We are a part of God, and we respect that. And we want to show God that we can be our best selves because God is his best self, right? So it's our job to be our best selves out as well, to match that energy, and God will match that energy back with you. And it's a beautiful process. I've been going through this for a few years now, and it's been real interesting. It took a lot of, at first I was a little skeptical. I felt like I was crazy, like I was going against religion. I was going against my Catholicism. I was going against God. But then when I learned and I started doing all this, it just opened so much more beautiful energy, so much more beautiful opportunities. I felt so much better about myself, had so much more love, so much more open-mindedness to see more perspective, see the truth. Continue to take those steps. Love yourself. And know that little by little, you can awaken yourself, and little by little, you get closer to God with every step of the way when you continue to try. Religion is man-made. Don't feel bad if you're not in some specific group. You don't need to be in a specific group. Be the best you, and just have that faith and have that love and have God on your mind and God by your side, and just continue to take those steps forward, and everything will come together. So much love to everybody. I hope you do everything you got to do to get to where you got to go, because you are the only one that can save yourself. So much love, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.